We are here with the library's own resident bird expert, Melissa Guimont. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and explain how you became our bird expert?
Sure. So I'm the circulation librarian at the library, and in my free time, I like to help out the birds in my backyard and in my area. I started helping a forest a long time ago put up bird boxes in the forest area, and we have 85 bird boxes up, and that helps birds put nests in there, and they have babies. So that's a good thing to do for the forest. So that's how I started out with birds, and I've loved doing stuff for them ever since.
Nice. What are birds doing this time of the year?
In the spring, this is the busiest time of the year for birds. You have a lot of them chirping and singing and calling. They're making themselves heard to other birds so that they can declare their own territory or they can attract friends. So you're hearing a lot of bird songs at this time of the year. You're also seeing a lot of birds flying around with stuff in their beaks, and what they're doing is they're collecting materials to make nests. So birds will pick up pine needles or fur and they'll put it in their bird's nest, and then they'll be laying eggs pretty soon. So this is a very active time of the year for birds, and then it quiets down in the fall. So this is the time when everything starts happening with the birds.
And what kinds of birds can we see outside in our neighborhoods right now? And how would we identify those birds?
Well, you'll see a lot of different birds, and the best way to identify them is the colors and also the songs that they sing. Right now, you'll see the first bird you'll see in the morning, and the first one you'll hear in the morning is a robin. And a robin is identified by having a bright red belly and chest, and then they're black on top. Those will be running around on your lawn, pulling worms out of the ground and singing first thing in the morning. You'll see bright red birds. Those are cardinals. Those are the male cardinals. The females are brown, and they're around a lot right now in people's backyards, and they're getting ready to make a nest. So they're out there singing and eating and getting ready for the season. You have blue jays, which are bright blue and white, and sometimes black, no black beak and spots. They are very loud birds. You'll see them squawking and big groups of them. They like to hang out in groups. There's turkeys. I just had turkeys in my backyard earlier today. They're running around everywhere. There's going to be baby turkeys soon. And you'll see herons at the river. You'll see all kinds of stuff, hawks, woodpeckers. Everything right now is happening because it's almost time to start making nests.
If families are at home watching this, what are some of the ways they can help birds?
The best thing you can do for birds is to put a bird feeder out and a bird bath. So I have a bird bath right here. It's just a big dish with water, and I put a rock inside. And what the birds will do is they'll go in there and they'll take a bath, or they'll drink the water. So you should clean the water out a couple times a week. Make sure it's nice and clean. And you'll get a lot of activity at a bird bath. You can put up a bird house. So I have one. I'm going to show you right here. This is a bird house. The bird flies in this little hole. I'm going to open it, and that's what it looks like on the inside. And they'll put a little nest in here. So you could put up a bird house and try to attract them to your yard. I also have something hanging on a tree here. It just looks like a piece of wood with fur. That is used, the fur is taken by the birds, and they use that in their nest. So the birds will fly up to this thing on this tree that I put up, and they'll pull the hair and the fur out, and they'll bring that to their nests because they like to make a soft nest. So I put my hair in there. When I brush my hair, I take the stuff out of the comb and I put it in there, and I put my dog's fur in there, and they use that in their nests. So you can do that. There's also food that you can give them. They like peanuts. So if you throw peanuts out into the backyard, you'll get a lot of blue jays that come by. So I just have regular old peanuts that I throw out there. And that's a blue jay right now. They're excited. They must see the peanuts. I have sunflower seed, and they're called black oiled sunflower seed. You can get these any grocery store anywhere. All the birds love this. And I put this in my feeders. You can put it in a dish, and you'll get a lot of activity. You might get some squirrels, though. That does happen. You can get, they call this suet. So it's looks like a big brick of seeds and berries and lard. And this gets hung up on a tree. They sell little cages for it. Suets will attract woodpeckers, and you'll get a lot of different kind of birds, like chickadees will go after that, and bluebirds. So you can do that, feed the birds, put some bird bath out, put fur out there. Any of that stuff helps. And just be careful if you have a cat. Leave your cat in the house.
So you also sent me some examples of bird feeders that you could make at home. So we made a few for my house here. The first one is just using a pine cone with a little peanut butter and then rolled in bird seed. You can hang this up. The squirrels probably really like this one too, the pine cone and everything. And then we took an old bottle and cut out a spot for the birds, used a stick for the perch, and put some food in there, and you can hang this up. Nice way to reuse and recycle as well. Melissa, what are some ways that families can learn more about birds from home?
Well, the first thing you should do if you're home is just go outside and be quiet and still and look around and listen. You'll hear them singing everywhere. You'll see them if you're still. Just observe. Just check out what's going on in your yard, and then try to remember what they look like so you can look them up. You should definitely check out some books at the library. You can go on to the library's website and find some great books and online books that you can use to identify birds. I have a couple that I use that helps me identify birds. I have a really good pair of binoculars, and if you can sit there and watch the birds and watch how they behave, you'll learn a lot about them. So I always have my binoculars with me. And there's lots of stories and books that you can get that will help you with birds.
If you download the Libby app, you can use your library card and check out a bunch of books about birds absolutely free. A few of the ones that I have looked up include the DK Find Out Birds, which is a nonfiction book for kids, which has a lot of great information about different types of birds all over the world. Baby Owl's Rescue by Jennifer Keats Curtis is a fun story to read. The Best Nest, you might know this one, Melissa, by P.D. Eastman. That's a classic. The Owl Diary series is also on the Libby app, and that's very, very popular with kids right now, and features, of course.
I love that story.
Yeah, they're really fun books. So all of those books can be checked out with your library card on the Libby app. We also have something called Tumble Books that can be accessed for free right on the library's kids page. That features a great book called Birds, Nature's Magnificent Flying Machines, and also videos that will show you great blue herons and other birds through National Geographic. So that's another good resource for learning more about birds at home. And if you want to get a little creative, the library's new program, Creative Bug, which can be accessed right through the homepage, midlib.org. You can actually learn how to make beautiful paper birds with recycled materials. as well as adorable bird costumes, which I'm going to make one for my daughter. They're so cute. If you want to do some more fun things as a family, if you have little ones, you can make your own binoculars. Maybe not as fancy as Melissa's, but they work for little kids using paper tubes. You can look and find the birds. All right. And then we created a backyard bird scavenger hunt. I made my own, but there are lots of ones you can download and print at home. And this has things like a feeder, a bird bath, blue jay, nest, bird song, different signs of birds that you might find in your own neighborhood walking around. And Melissa, did you find a sign of a bird today?
I found two. The first thing I found was a old hummingbird nest that fell. Look at how small it is. This was on the ground because it was so windy the other day. This fell out of a tree. This is old, but it fits in the palm of my hand. It's a hummingbird nest. Very, very tiny. And I also found this morning a gigantic turkey tail feather. So this came out of the turkey that has been in my yard 3 times a day. I also throw corn out there, so they eat a lot of the corn, and they come to my yard all the time. But this is a really big feather. It's about the size of my arm.
Wow.
Yep. So that's good to look for clues in your yard for the birds.
Yeah, Mass Audubon also has a fun game that you can play with your family. If you go to their Nature at Home site, they have a neighborhood scavenger hunt, and you download it on your phone, and each player gets assigned a letter, and then when you find these different things as you are walking or just looking in your backyard, you earn points. So that's another fun thing you can do through the Mass Audubon.
That's awesome. There's also the Cornell Lab of Ornithology has a website. It's called allaboutbirds.org. And you can go on there and you can play games. There's one game where you can make like a beatbox. It's a musical bird song. You can also do bird identification stuff on there, and that's all free to people at home. It's an organization that helps try to teach people about birds. So that's good to use too.
Yeah, we tried the Beast Box. That was so much fun.
It was
Very,
fun.
very fun. So I highly recommend that one. Thank you so much, Melissa.
You're welcome. Thank you. And happy birding, everybody. We miss you and we hope to see you again real soon.
Happy birding.